Hello and welcome to the Miskatonic Playhouse and tonight's performance of The Prisoner's Dilemma. I'm T.A. Newman, your host and keeper of Arcane lore for tonight's performance. My team and I will be bringing to life adventures using the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, which contains mature themes, cosmic horror, character death and loss of sanity. Our mystery can be found in the Miskatonic repository, where people like you and me can write a scenario for others to play. We'd also like to thank Sirenscape, whose tools have helped provide the background sound that you hear. Finding a gruesome collection of torture weapons created by the Warden, the investigators also discover that the prisoners have been subjected to bizarre medical experiments for decades. Venturing to the voices on the upper level, the investigators discover the people in the cells were also duped into attending the prison under false pretenses and have been the subjects of the architect's experiments. And now it's time to pull back the curtain and roll the dice. The stage is mine. The rattling of this, you've already pinged one hinge. In this moment, you actually manage to ping another hinge, and you see the last hinge almost kind of go. So you actually don't need to rip the door off. In this instance, it's kind of not bending the actual frame, it's bending the hinges so that there is now a gap. I would say probably about a foot's worth of a gap at the top. And this individual just basically kind of just frantically, almost animalistically kind of climbs up and like begins kind of pulling themselves out, and they over a moment you see them kind of pulling themselves out. One arm comes through. It's almost like caving. You can see that there's a hole there that someone needs to get through, and they are doing everything that they can physically do to kind of force their body to get through. As you guys are struggling with that, and as Captain Harwood is there kind of hand on pistol going, I should probably shoot the lock off in a moment, just before that happens, Dr. Haigler, we're coming over to you. This is going on. The door is banging, bending, the hinges are popping. This is heard by you and heard by potentially anybody who is on your side. Dr. Haigler.
So Dr. Haigler walks up to the cell where he observes the individual rooting through whatever stuff there is there, and he's going to calmly say, hello, I guess you must be Ethan then. Mind telling me what we're looking for? Maybe I can give you a hand so we can get out of here.
Yeah. You kind of see him looking across, and he kind of sees, this is like, he sees the moment here where Tommy starts rattling on the cage on the other side, rattling on the door of the cage.
Don't worry, your mate will be out in a minute. He can give you a hand.
So you have actively approached in quite a calm manner, haven't you?
Yeah, trying to be relaxed.
The individual just goes, he kind of turns around. Yeah. Yeah. It's Ethan. I'm Ethan Chester's.
All right. I'm Dr. Haigler, but you can call me Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
It's great, Doctor. You can see there's a few beads of sweat coming down his head. You can see that the room he's in seems to be like almost turned over.
I guess this isn't your cell then.
No. This here is this is Henry Moore's cell.
Oh, Henry Moore. Yeah, no, I've heard that name. What's going on here? Are you trying to get out like us? Because it doesn't seem to all add up. Is this person psychotic, or would I recognize as I get closer?
The role you are requesting is psychology.
Oh,
you're very welcome to make it.
Let's have a look. Let's it's a 46 versus 35, but that's in the ballpark. I'm happy to know whether this guy is firing on all cylinders. So, so I'll spend the luck. if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, of course it is. What's that? 11 luck?
11 luck. I need to know whether I'm going to get lamped as soon as I
Yes,
approach this
let's
guy.
do it.
So yeah,
In
so
fact, I advise at least the next 10 minutes, regardless of who you are and where you are, feel free to spend as much luck as you like. I think that's
okay.
suitable.
Hold on to your luck, everyone.
Suitable thing.
It's a
I'm
trap.
going to call for a group luck roll and then we're all
So,
done in.
Oh.
Doctor, you're spending luck to make this happen. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You see the beads of sweat, you see the individual, you see the room rummaged. This looks like a man taxed to his limits, not
Okay.
insane, not dangerous to you, and someone who is clearly perplexed by your arrival.
Okay.
But not spooked. You recognize with your regular success the fact that you approached with a very calm, very gentle manner and voice. You've allowed a conversation to happen here that potentially might not have happened.
Okay. He'll progress that and kind of recognize this with this Ethan fellow, and he'll say, well, we're all in this together. Your mate over there seems to think you've got some solution to all this. Is that true?
Yeah, no, it is. Sorry.
Sorry, take your time. I didn't mean to startle you or nothing, because your friend seems quite insistent to want to get out.
Yeah, Carl. Right.
Carl,
look,
well,
listen.
don't worry. My friend Tommy will probably have him out soon.
Okay. Look, Henry. This was Henry's cell.
Yeah.
He was getting us out of here. He had a way out.
What was his name?
He had a way out.
Henry Moore. Was it?
Henry Moore. Yeah.
Right.
Henry Moore.
Okay.
Like he'd snuck out. He'd been down to the architects.
No.
He'd been down to.
Tell me about the architect later, but.
Yeah, he'd been down to his room, like to his study and that, or whatever you want to call
study.
it. Like
Okay.
Where all his things are, where his madness is, and that. Like, but he got this. He'd like found the original prints, like of this place, this place.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He'd found the original prints of this place, right? But thing is, right? The tunnels.
There's tunnels out to prison, is there?
Yeah. There's like a way out, right? And that's what it is. That's what Henry said. He said that the architect,
right,
he'd built this place, and the plans, the tunnels, they're planned tunnels, but we're not supposed to know about them.
Well, obviously not, because it's a prison, that like, isn't it? But it's a weird prison. It's not the right type of prison, And
Henry, he hid them in here, but I can't.
All right. Well, calm down, relax. Just take it slowly. Now, what sort of description did Emery give him? Are they plans on the back of a fag packet or something, or are they like proper architectural drawings?
Yeah, he said he got the plans, like the sheets, the plans.
All right. Well, they're going to be blue, aren't they? Going to be blue,
right? And he kept saying to me, "Don't worry about it, mate. I'm going to sleep on it."
Oh, he's going to sleep on it. Now, I assume you've turned over that mattress.
You look at the bed and you can see that it's been turned over.
Right.
But you see that it's basically been like turned over.
Okay.
Whether it's been inspected, you're not sure.
Doctor's going to look around. Is there any kind of like drink, any kind of a cup or something that he could sort of like just say, "Here we go. Sit down. Have a drink of this. I'll try and go over what."
There's a sink with a cup with one toothbrush in it, and most of the bristles are gone.
All right. Well, he'll chug that out. He'll try and pour some water. Is the water any good?
Yeah, water comes out. There's a
clunk.
bit of a sputter of water.
Yeah,
it's a brownie kind of water.
All right. He'll also like offer that to Ethan and go, "Well, mate, not entirely sure you should, but if you're used to it." All right, no, you wait there. I'll have a look. And so he's going to calmly pat the mattress down. Maybe take it off. Maybe look over things. Maybe see if there's anything extra he can do whilst everyone's.
with your dedicated, time-concentric kind of look here, I'm going to give you a bonus die on this. I'm throwing the bonus dice away. You're very welcome to give me a spot hidden roll with a bonus die, but it's because you're taking the time to actually...
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so that's a spot hidden. And with a bonus die, that is still a failure, I'm afraid. So 46 versus 40.
Is this something you'd like to push or use luck on?
No, he's going to assume that there's going to be keener eyes than his assisting him shortly. So he's going to just put that to one side and then carry on with the rest of this stuff, just trying to organize it, look at it, and see quite what is going on.
Okay. Then what we're going to do is jump back from you in this moment where you're looking at the mattress, you're looking around the bed frame. You don't seem to see anything. And you look at this Ethan individual, you see at this moment, he wipes his brow, wipes the sweat away. Without a psychology roll, without an additional psychology roll here, Doctor, you can see this is just a normal man who is pushed to his limits. Yeah, absolutely. You almost recognize an element of professionalism within them, not within necessarily the medical profession, but as a professional, you recognize there's someone here who is pushed to their limits.
He's going to try and keep him talking, just strike up a conversation, say, I'm Dr. Haigler, just small talk as he's going along.
So he begins to tell you that he's a chartered accountant. He also tells you that he's been working for a specific firm. He's got to get back to his love. He's got to get back to his partner. He even drops the name to you that his fiance is Clara Greenwald, back in London, and he is desperate to get back to her. And this has been a horrific mistake. He thought he was doing something special that would change their lives.
Right. Okay.
Back over to Captain Harwood, Eleanor, Tommy. You're there. Captain Harwood, I believe we kind of left with you. You see the individual, Tommy and the individual inside who has now potentially being named, depending on whether you were listening, paying attention or not. The door is kind of bent. It's not the door that's bending, it's the hinges. It's the pin within the hinges that has popped in two of the hinges, which has allowed this certain thing. You see this individual pushing their way through. Captain Harwood, what is it that you do or say?
He's going to give Tommy a pat on the back, sort of like a good man, congratulations kind of thing. And then he's going to take a really good look at the hinges, and he will say to the man in the cell, all right, well, we're going to do what we can to get you out, and we're trusting you. Do not let us down. If we get you out, you'll help us, yes?
Get me out and I'll bite the face off that warden. Come on, pull. And he's like pushing his arms out towards you, Captain.
Oh, I think we're going to try something with a little more finesse, don't you? If I were you, I would try and get out of my line of fire. And he'll hold up the gun.
Whoa, oh, okay.
Don't worry.
Hold on. And he kind of like slides off the door, runs to the back of the cell, like, whoa.
Well, the hinges look like they are weaker than the lock, I would imagine. They look to be the weakest part. So he's going to have a really good look, check what angle he needs to go in at, and try and fire directly into the hinge, either upwards or downwards, whichever way he thinks is going to make the hinge pin shoot out.
Okay, give us a firearms roll. For a freebie, you recognise this isn't the first time they've had a firearm aimed at them. And you recognise that there is a whoa. There's a procedure to this. Well, okay, so what did you roll?
That was a fail, sadly, 72 against 70. But I think I could either spend luck or I could push it. What luck have I got? Let me have a look. My luck's not good. It's only 45. So I think I'm going to push it. I know.
Excellent. I
What's
can't
everyone
wait to
else's
see
luck
how-
like?
What will happen on a fail? Mine is 40, so
Ricochet.
I started with 40.
Don't worry about everybody else's luck. You spend yours or push the roll. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
Tempting.
very awkward if you kill them.
Very, very awkward, isn't it?
Like a
Well,
game show host.
Take the money, open the box. I'm going
Yeah.
to spend the luck. It is only 2 points.
Okay, all right. Well, with that regular success, you know the pistol is raised and you shoot the lock. You hear the ping of metal. The door, typically next to Tommy, just kind of rolls open. You hear the clink. It's like clang of metal as the door's kind of half hanging on its hinges, and then you hear the breath of release. Yes, come on. Now we're talking. Come on. You don't, as an absolute freebie in your, not a freebie because you've done your psychology rolls. This is just a continuation of that moment within this scene. You don't sense any aggression. You don't sense any lunacy. You sense someone who's going, yes, let's do this. They've found people who are simpatico. They have a similar goal and let's go. In fact, you see the individual kind of come out, look at you, Captain, go for your empty hand, whether it's your right or your left, doesn't matter to this individual in this moment, and shake it vigorously. Yeah, and just go, absolute cracking, mate, cracking, great bloody shot, cracking. And then turn around to Tommy, slap him on the arm, and just go, my God, this is what we need. This is what we need. Right, back in two. And then you just see them bolt up the gantry towards where the office is, and they dive into where the office is and the door there. You're very welcome to follow or stay or go around to Dr. Haigler or whatever it is that you would like to do. In fact, I'm going to ask each of you individually what you'd like to do in that moment. So, Captain, we'll start with you.
I think when he shakes the captain's hand, there will be a very small but genuine smile. And he will then take the nightstick out of his belt and lay it in the guy's free hand. Now, make use of this.
Okay, so he takes it and you see a nod. You see there's eye contact and there's a nod, and then that's when he kind of begins to jog off. Eleanor, may I ask what you're doing? Or how you respond to this moment?
Eleanor is just very impressed with everyone. She's probably very stressed and scared, but slightly relieved that she has some clearly very strong and capable people around her. So it doesn't quite matter what she does. She's gonna pick up the painting again, trying not to show it to the panicked man. Also, I remember she hasn't seen Nell. She never went. She never looked at that woman. So as far as she's concerned, she has no idea what he's talking about. She hasn't seen the horrifying effects of the painting. So she's like, okay, whatever. And I think since there's another office, she can still go and look for the Obsidian Foundation. Maybe there are more papers there, so she's going to follow, carefully not showing him the painting because she doesn't want another panic in her hands.
So she's following the individual. She's following the bold, kind of wiry man.
She might even ask him for his name on the way, just to make things easier for you.
Yeah, if she does, yeah, thank you. Dr. Haigler heard. If you kind of, if you're following, you're just going to say, "What's your name?" He just goes, "Carl." It's Carl. Carl Sosa.
Nice to meet you, Carl.
You too. As he kind of runs off. Yeah, superb. Tommy, what about you? I imagine as he kind of slaps you on the shoulder, he gives you like a proper like compatriot kind of look. There's a sense of
Tommy
recognition
is
there, you know.
Bent double, clutching the balcony, the gantry balcony, heaving breaths out of that massive exertion, takes the slap on the back and looks over his shoulder in recognition, realizes he doesn't have it in him to do that again ever. That was just too much. And he's just trying to catch his breath, looking down over the balcony as all of this is happening behind him.
And I think in that moment as well, it's recognizing, as you say, and I think that's a really, really good thing to pick up on as an investigator, as a player, is the physical exertion needed. That is a barred cell door, and it was the hinges that popped rather than the frame itself. But still, that is iron on iron bolted within. That is, snapping bits off. 2 people informing that happening. But the physical toll that would have taken is extreme. So yeah, a really good character observation there. Thank you. Hanging over the railing, taking a second, looking over the side, you can't help but notice, Tommy, and maybe this is the first time, maybe not, that you recognise this. The rest of the ward, apart from where you and your friends are, seems oh so quiet.
Could one almost say it's dead?
Like, really. You might even say that there is a linger of death amongst every other aspect of this ward. Carl Sosa runs to the actual office at the far end of the cells on this side of the gantry. Eleanor runs in. Tommy's taking a breath. The captain hand over the nightstick, possibly either stays with Tommy or follows. I'll allow Captain you to decide in a moment. You see Eleanor, the Carl Sosa run down, just kick open the office door. You see almost he stands half in, half out for a moment with the bat raised, the police baton raised, the nightstick, looking around. There's no one, there's no reaction. Then he kind of disappears into the room. By the time you catch up and you look in, he's in there and he's searching the desk. There's not really much in there apart from a desk. There's no windows, obviously. You see a few cupboards, but you can even see that they are empty. These are things that could have been bookshelves and things, but there's nothing really there. And he's kind of like pulling at things. And there's a moment where he pulls a drawer open. And he looks up at you as you walk in the room. And then you hear a little jangle as he just holds up a keyring with keys on it. Whee!
Including
Catch.
the front door. Oh, okay. Do I need to roll something for that?
You need to roll sanity. No. There's no throw roll for Carl Sosa. There's no catch roll for you. I'll allow you to decide as an investigator whether you
I
catch
have
them,
dexterity 70, so I'm gonna say yes.
snatch them out of the air. He throws these keys at you.
Do any of them look big enough to be like front door, or are they more like cell keys?
You can give me an intelligence roll on that.
Hopefully, I'm smart enough.
Yay.
Hard success, 14 over 65.
Wow. Okay,
I
so
know
with
what
that,
keys look like.
I can give you the knowledge that you absolutely want. Unfortunately, it's not what you want to hear. They're not big Chublock-esque kind of bolted keys with a heavy handle. They are small internal lock keys, which you've seen on a number of doors. But as you've got them, and as you're looking at them, and as you look a bit disheartened, Carl just goes, No, you don't understand. That's the key. That's the key that Ethan wants. That's the key to the stairs. We go downstairs, and there's a door like by the stairs up to here. We go through there. We go down. That's where the tunnels are. You don't panic, love.
Tunnels?
The tunnels. That's where we're going. We're getting out of here. Yes. On that moment, and we will come back to you, Eleanor. On that moment, we go back to Captain. Actually, I'm going to say Captain Harwood. What did you do? Did you stay with Tommy? Did you go with Eleanor? Did you wander over to Dr. Haigler? What did you do, Captain?
I think he stayed with Tommy because he's clearly really exerted himself. So he's just going to make sure that Tommy's okay. So he's going to go into the now open cell and take out the chair and bring it back to where Tommy is and just say, take a moment, man. That was
Thank you, Captain.
really
Thank you.
something.
I'll sit down.
Take a breath.
I'll just take some breaths. Oh,
You all
I think
right?
I've done myself a damage. Yeah, just give me a minute, I'll be okay.
That's all right. You take whatever time you need. That was
He's a
very
salt, isn't he?
impressive.
Do you think he knows what he's talking about?
I really don't know, but he does seem genuine. I had my doubts.
Look, I'm okay if you want to. And I'll stand up again, put my hand on the captain's shoulder. I'm okay. It's okay. Let's go. Yeah.
Are you sure? All right. Well, don't push yourself too far. I'll keep my gun out and
I don't
I'll have
want to
your
spend
back.
another
Don't
minute
worry.
here. Let's go.
I don't think any of us do, but we aren't leaving
That
without
could have been
the
us, that.
detective.
In there. Look at him. He was locked in there.
It could.
You saw what happened to the detective. Let's go.
All right. And I think he will. If Tommy needs support, he'll put an arm around his shoulder for a moment and help him along.
So I would say, in terms of the physicality of Tommy, he is, in regards to health points, fine. But, Tommy, you do feel the lactic acid ripping through your arms and your chest and your lower back. And it really is. You can feel that burn. You have put muscles to the absolute test, but not to the point of damage. Yet you feel that, having put yourself in such a strenuous position, that if you had to do anything of such an extreme physical exertion again, you would either A, hurt yourself, or B, you would find it difficult to do it.
Understood.
Is the way that we will literally and metaphorically roll with that. Okay. We're gonna go quickly back before we go to the doctor. We're just jumping straight back in a classic cinematic kind of push the narrative forward here to Eleanor, who is with Carl, who has just thrown the keys to you and has just said, "That's our way out down in the tunnels." Eleanor.
Have you been to the tunnels? Are they safe, or are they full of whatever wolfmen?
I don't fucking wolfmen.
Did you not see him turn into? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because you saw the painting and that was stressful. I assumed you knew that.
Yeah, well, wait, like just.
It just feels a bit dangerous.
Right.
I wish you would just don't want to search for the front door keys, because that's. I've never been in tunnels.
All right, look, there's tunnels. The tunnels are a way out. You've never been in tunnels, right? Don't matter. You just go in the tunnels and you just bloody run. You just get in there and you run.
Told you that?
What?
Who said about the tunnels?
Henry.
Who's Henry?
Henry, and he points over at the cell that the doctor and Ethan are in, and he says, "That was Henry's cell. That was Henry's cell, and he had the balls and, well, the opportunity, and he snuck about, right? And he went downstairs. He went down into the architect's bloody, what do you call it? His den, his bloody lair or whatever he is, and he went in there. Tell you what, he was a changed man when he come back. My God, look in his eye. But
is that in the tunnels?
Ethan said that there was like you go down into the basement, and then in there is a way into the tunnels. Like there's a room there, and that's how you get into the tunnels.
And you feel confident about this?
Confident or not, we get out of here, or we end up like Henry, and you don't want to end up like Henry. All right?
Okay. Okay, I suppose it's worth a try. I have the keys. Let's go find Ethan. Is it?
Right.
Okay.
And he kind of, runs out of the room, almost kind of grabs you by the wrist, not in an aggressive way, in like a come with me
Oh,
way.
he likes me.
Yeah. And he kind of pulls you along the gantry down the other side, and you end up at the door there with Dr. Haigler. Captain Tommy, you're kind of seeing this. You can recognize, I'd say, without any kind of psychology roll or any other role necessary, really, because it's quite noisy on the gantry when people move. You can see Carl moving across and then ducking back down to the cells on the opposite side. Tommy, Captain, what do you do?
I'm just pulling myself together. I'm okay now. I realise it's been a bit much, but I've heard tunnels, I've heard keys, I've heard way out, and that's my focus. So I'm just following the captain's lead.
So
And
therefore, Captain, what do you do?
The captain is heading towards the others to join up with everybody else, and bringing Tommy with him.
In a few steps behind then, literally momentarily steps. So we could almost argue that there's a moment where Carl and Eleanor get there, and then you would be able to hear, but also then join in a few moments later, any conversation or action that goes on within the cell. You arrive and you see the doctor in there, almost holding up a single bed mattress, quite a lightweight one, not very well designed, just something that's got some springs in it essentially, and a couple of springs tied into a sheet. But if you can see the springs in it, you can see that it's not really designed for comfort. It's designed to pass a regulation in terms of its design. And you can see the doctor there holding it and moving his hands, smoothing across it. Doctor, you sense the others arrive on the outside of the cell. The cell door is open. There is another individual for Captain, Eleanor, and Tommy that is standing on the inside in a full kind of prison garb with the arrows all over it, standing there with an empty cup, just kind of watching the doctor. And then he kind of looks at you as you come in.
Looking for a file and some
Doctors.
lockpicks, Doctor.
Well, if you've finished scaring us after death, firing your gun without saying, "Look out, everyone, I'm about to fire a gun," nearly scared me after death, didn't it? Make yourselves useful. I think we've got some architectural plans hidden in this mattress. I've kind of escaped of it. For some reason I jumped out my skin when I was just about to get there. But no, I think there's going to be some tunnels somewhere. And if I recall correctly, we've got a young person called Henry Moore, who I read in some medical records was holed up in the boiler room for some reason. I don't know what. So that must make... are you... this is Ethan Chester. Have you got a Carl Sozer with you?
Right here. I lift up the arm that he's holding.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
You can let go now, thank you.
Right,
Sorry.
So inside the mattress, is it that we're looking at? Because I just got hold some keys, and maybe we can tear it open with them.
Right, I think keys are usually used for locks and doors and stuff, knives and
well, I did an art piece once, and we... Okay.
Right, no... See what you can find out. You help me go through this stuff. It's got to be in here somewhere. It's nice big blue architect, isn't that right, mate? It's big and blue architect. Architectural stuff.
It's supposed to be, like the original plans of the prison. At which point he kind of moves back a little bit. He's still inside the cell. He moves back towards the sink area. You're all welcome to come into the prison cell. You're all welcome to do whatever it is that you want. The doctor and Ethan would have you believe that somewhere in the cell there are plans. Tell me what you'd like to do, everybody. You don't have to look. You don't have to do anything. The doctor is there holding a mattress. Turns out Eleanor's there holding a set of keys, threatening to cut said mattress. What would you like to do?
I'm definitely in for the searching, because any way out of here now is top of my list.
So, Tommy, how are you going to search, and what are you going to search?
Well, he said mattress, hasn't he? He said there's something in the mattress, so I'll make a beeline for that and see if I can help.
And what's your style? The doctor was smoothing things out and kind of, feeling for edges and things. What do you do?
I'll rummage around underneath it and on the sides of it to see if anyone's like stuffed anything inside it.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden roll, please. Captain, are you joining in at all? In any aspect?
Yes, but I think he's going to look elsewhere in the cell rather than in the mattress just in case. I think he's going to start looking at the walls and around sort of, is there a window or anything like that? To see if there's anything that looks like maybe a crack or maybe where there's a bit of loose plaster or a brick that could be pulled out, something like that.
No windows that you can see. No loose bricks. No Shawshank poster with an entire tunnel system behind it. But what you do see is a series of scratches by the bed.
On the floor, is that?
On the wall.
On the wall.
But they just look like a series of scratches. You're very welcome to make a spot hidden roll for me.
I think so.
I think.
Eleanor, is there anything you're doing in this moment?
I'm ready to tear open a mattress whenever anyone will let me at it.
Hey, you can go at it. Doctor's holding one side, Tommy's feeling around the other side. There is a open mattress section that you're very welcome to jump at with your keys if you'd like to.
I'll pick the sharpest key and I'll just tear it open and see if I can put my hands inside the mattress.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to ask you for a dexterity roll then rather than a spot hidden roll, because yours is more, let's see if I can cut the thing open.
That's fine with me.
Captain, what did you get on your roll?
Sadly, that was a big failure, 81 versus 60. So I think I'm going to have to try and push that one, if I may.
Okay, how would you push this? You're seeing some scratches. How is it that you push this roll? There's a number of people in the room, one with keys slashing at a mattress, another that's folding over an edge and looking, another that's manhandling an edge and, really kind of feeling it. What is it that you do to push this roll? How do you put this in a sense of jeopardy?
Well, he's going to get down.
With the tip of his gun.
Yes, with his finger still on the trigger. Absolutely. Well, he's going to get down as close as he can to the wall, and he's going to maybe sort of wedge himself in by the furniture, by the bed, if he needs to, like, maybe get under the bed or kind of put himself in some strangely, weirdly balanced position with the furniture to see if he can really get in close and have a look.
Yeah, okay, I like this. I think we have a potential for a Three Stooges moment coming up.
And he's so dignified usually as well. So, another spot hidden.
Hey!
Oh, another failure, 80 versus 60.
Okay, so I failed on a push roll. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, can I ask Eleanor, what was your roll?
I rolled a 41 over 70, so that's a normal success on my dexterity.
And Tommy, what was your roll?
I managed to roll 65 on my skill of 65.
Ooh, okay, so we have a success, we have a just success, which is still a regular success, and then we have a failed push roll. The doctor having already looked and not found anything, and then almost kind of opened his arms saying, hey, have a look, help me out. So what happens in almost a few seconds, really, is you all jump into action. Tommy kind of grabs the bed mattress and also the frame and begins kind of looking at it, kind of twisting, turning. The doctor's there kind of for a moment, just kind of helping with that. The captain kind of dives to the floor, sees these scratches, really kind of pushes into a moment. But as that's happening, Eleanor walks up with the sharp key, just kind of sizes up, doesn't even touch the mattress, just looks at it. And then there's a moment where, just when the moment's right, slash across the mattress, and you just see the mattress open up, some springs ping out. One of the springs unfortunately pings and hits Tommy in the face, at which point he drops the bed being quite heavy actually lands on top of Captain Harwood and pins Captain Harwood to the floor. Captain, I'm going to ask you to make a luck roll for me, please.
That's beautiful, honestly. That is
perfect, isn't it? That really is.
Hard
success.
Okay.
Hey.
So That is pretty good actually. So that actually means then that am I gonna ask you to do it, or shall I do it? Do you know what? I'm gonna ask you to do it, so I feel like there's a sense of Deus Ex Machina here. Or lack of Deus Ex Machina, shall I say? Can you just roll a d4 for me and tell me whether it's a 1-2 or a 3-4? I'm gonna say just 1-2 is Ethan Chester's, 3-4 is Carl Sosa. Please roll.
I've rolled a 3.
Okay, could you give me a pistol roll, please?
Pistol roll. Okay. Oh dear. This does not sound good. 61 versus 70, regular success.
Okay, could you roll damage for that, please?
Oh dear, who did I shoot? Oh no. What is my damage? That is 1d8 damage. So, 5.
Okay, so in this moment, you've got Captain Harwood looking at the scratches on the wall, really digging down deep, pistol in hand, looking down. You've got the doctor kind of standing there holding the bed. Your luck roll initially was to make sure you didn't shoot one of your own party within the investigators, of which you succeeded. Otherwise, you could have killed one of your own party members.
Oops.
And in this moment, Tommy's there manipulating the bed. Eleanor comes in, slashes the bed drops, bang, clunk, clunk, oof, on top of you, oof, bang, bullet goes off, ping, you don't even see where it goes off, you just hear Ethan just going, whoa, and then you hear Carl Sosa just going, oh, anybody who's willing to look who's not the captain can see that Carl Sosa, who is standing by the cell bar, has just been shot kind of in the ribs here.
Ow.
This kind of, the area here, yeah, and just kind of yeah. Fuck.
The doctor springs into action. He goes,
Shit.
oh my lord, what's going on? Put that bloody gun down, you'll have the death of us.
He shot
all
me.
right, all right. Hey, no,
Shot
right.
me.
Lie down,
What?
lie down.
You
All right,
shot me.
take your hand away. Let me have a look at it. Let me have a look.
Oh, God.
Right, okay. Doctor's going to tear up some bed sheet and start stuffing it. And he's going to listen to the guy's breath and, going to... Sadly, a procedure he's probably been through many a time before in the war, dealing with gunshot wounds. So.
Give me a... Can you give me a medical roll, please? Or first aid, it's up to you. Medical roll or first aid. I'm going to see whatever it is that you think that you should do here. And I'm just going to make a quick little roll.
He's going to do first aid backing up. Yeah, so that's a regular success on his first aid. That's probably to stop the bleeding. And then the medical roll, he gets a success of 45 versus 71 to see whether the bullet's through and through, stuck in a rib, that kind of thing. Is it going to make it?
So I can tell you that you pad the wound either side. As you're doing so, you recognize the bullet's gone through and through. Yes, there's been chipping to the ribs on that side. There's a couple of ribs that are broken, but the bullet's gone through and through. The blood looks quite red. There's no black blood, so you're not convinced that it's gone through any internal organs. You're able to pad either side, and Carl Sosa in this minute is able to...
All right. Yeah.
Whoa.
You've been shot. Okay. No,
No,
don't worry.
no shit. I've been shot. Look,
We'll get you downstairs. We'll see if we can find some morphine on the way through.
Yeah, fuck. Don't need that. It's just get out of here. And
yeah, no.
Doctor,
That's
you,
that's right.
This man, he actually looks like, he looks like he's been sucker punched. Tommy, you actually think, bloody hell, he's holding it together quite well. But to you, this looks like a man, he is hurt. But Doctor, you as much as you're seeing he's hurt, and he is hurt, and he could do with some, painkillers, he looks like he's got the edge in his eye that he can kind of push on through.
The doctor recognizes this and probably is working out in his head how long the adrenaline is going to last in this guy to see whether or not they can go
okay.
through.
With its success,
standard successes.
anywhere between an hour and 2 hours.
All right. Okay.
I think you're going to think with this, before that sense of perhaps shock comes into as a feature.
And he's going to need proper medical attention. Okay.
Eleanor, you have slashed the bed. You see it drop. You see Captain Harwood was kind of pinned. Captain Harwood, you're not actually pinned. You were just kind of banged by it. In fact, actually, I'm going to ask you to roll a d4 and then half it for me, please. Eleanor, in this moment, you've slashed the bed open. As you do see that there is a... almost where you've slashed, you recognize that there was already a bit of a cut that had been sewn together. Captain, you take 1 point of damage with the bed dropping on your head and shoulders, the metal frame.
Why do I feel like this is all my fault? But my role was a success, and yet
beds are the most lethal thing in Call of Cthulhu.
I'm never stabbing a bed again. I thought I was taking revenge for the infamous bed.
Stab the bed. So, Eleanor, you slash the bed. You see that there's already a slash there, but because you recognise now, looking at it, you kind of go, there's your slash, but almost mirroring it. There's almost a slash that has been stitched up within the bottom of the mattress here. You actually now see that there is a corner of a blue-coloured page sticking out.
Shall we pull it out? Although there's a lot going on now, but let's pull it out first.
You pull it out, and it's not even folded. It's a long, almost A3 sheet of paper, slightly bigger almost, nearly A2. And as you pull it out, you immediately recognise that there are some architectural drawings. They look a bit haggard. The first thing you recognise is that they are annotated. The first thing you recognise is that they are significantly used. Now, as you're looking at it, I'm assuming everybody is getting up and coming around to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to ask then is this. I'm going to randomly pick you. I'm going to ask you to read potentially the annotations that you see on a specific ground floor. If you can't read the writing, that's fine, because your character might not be able to read the writing. Your investigator may be unable to read that. If there's anything you can't read and you wish to clarify it, I may ask for a roll. But let's start with Eleanor as she found this. Could you give me as many descriptions as you can on the ground floor, please, Eleanor?
Ground floor. It's quite pixely. Don't.
If you right click and open image in new tab.
Smart. Let me do that. Open a new tab. That's better. Okay, we have. Don't back through the main entrance. You will be shot by real prison guards. Don't go back to the main entrance. Stay away. That's an important one. Good to know. Crazy dog pictures. We know about this one in the visitor's room. Something dead in here in the medical place. And moved something crazy paintings. Moved hole in crazy.
And you're all looking over each other's shoulders. So as much as Eleanor's reading this, you feel free to jump in and, as if, oh, it says that, and oh, it says that. You're very welcome to kind of feed in on each other's.
And get down to the basement, key in warden station upstairs, which we picked up.
Good.
And then, I guess, the first floor. Doctor.
So the doctor is reading the names that he's cooperating with the medical records. So we've got Ethan Chester's prisoner 113. We have
That's where you saw the sleeping individual.
Sleeping individual. Okay. So we have a Benedict Grantham. Is this the cell we're in?
No, you are over where it says Henry Moore 119.
Henry Moore 119. Okay.
If you see the stairs, you came up the
Henry Moore
stairs, you
119.
went past Carl Sosa, and then Doctor, you went straight around all the way over to Henry Moore's cell that you're standing in now, which is where you were searching for these prints.
Marvelous. Okay, so we have another person in one of these cells who is currently sleeping. That is Ethan.
And you're standing next to Ethan.
Right. Okay. So all the other cells are empty.
Doctor, give me an intelligence roll, please.
Thought I saw somebody else.
In fact, you're all welcome to give me an intelligence roll because you're all looking at the
You
same
can see that
blueprints.
Benedict Grantham's in 102.
There is no one in there, and you know because you've run past.
Yep,
But that is where Benedict Grantham was.
yep. And the keys to the cells are in the warden's room.
Of which you have collected on your way around.
Yep.
And by the looks of things, there's an
Is
arrow
this-
which says Nell Hollis is in isolation.
Yeah.
This is all in the same handwriting, right?
This is all in the same handwriting. You're absolutely right.
In the basement excavation, I think that says run, run, run. Underlined. Disused cells are crossed out. Sneak past the monsters. So,
There's a fake
Yeah, it's,
cabinet as well. In
And
the boiler
the
room.
stars
in the
made my
boiler room.
head spin. So it seems very ominous, doesn't it?
Is this some kind of game?
I don't think it's any kind of game. I think this is something.
It's certainly not a very
Some
fun
kind
one
of
if it is a
strange
game.
experiment. We've got to bring these people to justice. I'm not singing the architect's office on here. I'm sure that this must have been gleaned from some kind of, well, person who put this all together.
For those of you who've made an intelligence roll, please tell me. Eleanor, we'll start with you. What's your roll, please?
40 over 65, so normal success.
Okay. Captain?
That was a failure. That was 86 over 70. Clearly, the bump on his head hasn't done him any good at all.
Tommy?
Yeah, playing to type. I have a failure.
Of course. And Doctor?
41 versus 70 success.
Okay, Doctor and 40 and 41, but slightly comparatively different. So Eleanor and Doctor, you, especially in terms of the sleeping individual in Ethan Chester's room, you're standing next to Ethan Chester's. When you went past his room, you now take a second and think, yeah, okay. You didn't actually see anybody. What you saw was essentially the oldest trick in the book, a couple of pillows with a blanket pulled over them as the person who should have been in that room
Well
was actually in Henry Moore's room searching. So without having to go back, you've recognized the old trick there that was done. But you've also recognized something else. You've recognized that with the key, with the map, with the natural approach to this prison, there is no way out of the front the way you came in. And if you did, you suspect that it would end very quickly and very badly for you, being in a prison and having recognized that there was a deadline. You recognize there is only one way out of this, and it is through the tunnels. So back in the room, you're all together. Ethan's there. Carl's there holding his side. Right.
Looks like it's down to the boiler room then. Well, we got to get through a few things. It's pretty scary. Are you going to be able to move there, my mate?
All be all
I
right,
really
mate.
am terribly sorry about that, Mr. Sousa.
Shut up.
And I'm sorry about the mattress.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry that I fucking robbed my brother's garage when he was 20 years old. Look, we're all sorry for something, aren't we? Let's get out of here, shall we, and have a cup of tea afterwards, eh?
Exactly. That sounds like a good plan. So
I don't feel great about the
boiler room.
running past monsters bit. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but
You stay and have a look then, like, and I'll have a run past, and then we'll see how it goes, shall we?
Remember what happened to that detective fella?
I was going to say, are we really going to leave
They
this
seem
place without
very
even trying to
fast.
get him out now that we have keys?
Well, you see what it says. It says, "Don't go back to the main end." Isn't that where the detective went?
Ethan kind of leans in. Look, if there is one of your party that's not with you now, not with you now, like he'll be taken down there. That's where he does his work.
Those things took him.
Right.
Yeah, but they take him to the architect.
So architect's down there, is he? Is like
Look,
plans and stuff down there, is it?
It's that's what Henry said. Henry said, like, we get down there, we get to the
I think Henry's going to be down
look,
there.
look there on the map. Look there on the map. See that bit there where it says run, run, run?
I see.
Yeah. And then it says
He means
boiler
that,
room.
doesn't he?
Yeah, that the boiler room is where Henry said he got the plans. And then he came up here and he started bloody annotating that. He started writing all over that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where we need to go. Because in there, look, Tommy, you said there, like fake bookcase.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That tunnel.
Right.
That's it. We get out on the moors and you tell me what we do.
Escape outside, and we gotta get clear because
Look,
we gotta call the authorities and
we
let them
get
know
out on
what's
the
going on.
moors. I wasn't staying in Princetown. Like, I was staying in a hotel at a Hole's Mouth, in Holmouth. It ain't far.
Right.
I mean, it's a bloody run, like. But look, we get out on the moors. We either go together, or we just split up.
It's all right, you know. I mean, there's a bus that bought us up here, but you know, safety is nearby. We've just got.
Doctor, you get back into Princetown and get a bus. Let's see how well you do with
I
that.
checked the doors.
If you ask me, mate, I'm running across those moors as far as I
went
can.
back to the front door and it was locked.
Okay,
I went and tried the cells. I went and tried that front door where we came in and it was locked. I couldn't budge it. It was stronger than that cell door. I couldn't do that again anyway.
I'm telling you, tunnels. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Find out.
So it's actually Ethan that begins to, unless one of you take the lead, it's Ethan that takes the lead. He kind of recognizes Carl is giving that a kind of edge of, right, let's back, come on guys, let's go. But Ethan is a bit more considerate and he's like, come on, let's go. We just got to go. We need to just start making a move.
Yeah,
And if nobody else leads the way, Ethan will begin leading the way down, back around the gantry, all the way around, and then down the stairs, back down to the floor you started on. Unless any of you would like to take
the doctor
the
is kind of like almost going to tell Ethan, lead the way. You know, what Henry was talking about.
Do you want to give him the keys?
Well,
I have the keys. I have the keys.
Do you want to give me the keys? Are you coming up here or what?
You can have.
We're all going, ain't us?
All right.
Yeah, you can have the key. Yeah, have the keys. Yeah.
Okay, Eleanor.
I'm gonna take this painting.
Eleanor, can you give me and Doctor, give me a power roll.
I have very low power, so this is great for me.
We can do.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh dear.
Doctor
I
has a
rolled
44 versus 65 success.
Oh wow.
Eleanor is starting to realize what is happening just now. She is.
This is what happens. You're moving down the stairs. You get down the stairs. You get across the gantry, all the way past Carlos's cell. You get down the gantry stairs. You get back onto concrete, onto the ground floor. You're then moving towards the big metal door, past Nell Hollis's cell. The entryway is all in the back. You're now up against the door that D.I. Martin was dragged through and then closed behind with the warden. So the far end, and if you look at your map of the prison, of the ward, you are on the far end, the area that leads to the stairs. And you're outside that door. Eleanor holds up the key. As she holds up the key, you see, first of all, that Carl Sosa kind of looks up and around him, and then his hands, even away from his wound, go to his ears. And he's like going, no. And then,
calm down. What can you hear?
Eleanor, you hear it. You hear it. And it's not coming from within the prison, but my God, is it loud. You hear howls. You hear growls. You hear a surrounding cacophony of a pack of instinctual things, not of a natural sense. This is preternatural. This is supernatural. You hear howls that don't sound like howls. They sound like screams. But they're not coming from people. This is something beyond. And as you hear this, there is no sense of calling here. There's no sense of pulling you into this. There is an immediate sense that you get, Eleanor, they're coming for you. They are all of them coming for you. And that fear ripples through you. And you drop the keys to the floor. I'll allow somebody else to act in a moment. Can I please ask you on a D100 to roll me a D10?
Wait, a D10
Yeah,
on a D100 or just a D10?
just a straight D10, please.
I rolled a 2.
Hey.
You lose 4 sanity
Whoa.
points.
That's enough to go indefinitely insane.
Oops.
Oh dear.
You spend your time now flitting between wanting to know, but at the same time being hunted by. It might be halfway through a sentence, halfway through a conversation, that you are talking about this excitement of the Obsidian Foundation, or these wolves, these hounds, these growls, these howls, and it's so interesting. I really want to find out about this. Oh, they're coming for me. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
Beautiful.
You can't decide what is going on in this moment. You can't decide what is going on for you in these moments. And I'm going to ask you quite regularly to roll me a 1d4. And the 1d4 will decide what is going on for you in those moments.
Love it. Do I start in default or do I start in panic mode?
Let's roll a 1d4, shall we, and find out.
All right. That's a 3.
Then 1 in 3 is actually you're interested. 2
Okay.
and 4 is they are coming for you and panic.
Okay.
Like, I need to run from this moment. I will, at moments of, let's say, any raised sense of pressure, I will say, okay, this is a moment. This is a moment where I need you to roll. And you'll have to respond.
Eleanor drops the keys in momentary panic, hearing the howls, and then she says, "They're threatening us. They're trying to intimidate us. But I know that this means there's something they don't want us to see. There's something down there they don't want us to see. And if we find it, then not only can we escape, we can stop them. That's why they're trying to scare me so much, because they know we're close."
Yeah. I hear the house as well.
We're close. Don't let them get to you. They know we can do this. They're trying to scare us, but they cannot. Okay, let me pick up the key. I'm very sorry. It's momentary lapse.
What are the rest of you doing? When Eleanor drops the keys, are you hearing her madness? Are you going through the keys? You recognize there is a time-sensitive matter here, and the individual with the keys is talking about hounds and howls and the noise and the time and the right thing to do. And then there's another individual, almost as if it's contagious, going, "Oh, I hear it too. It's all right. What do the rest of you do?
Well, the doctor sort of like probably feels that pressure when he made that power roll, and he's going to instinctively recognize that the lady who's quite good dexterity-wise has dropped the keys, so that's his cause for alarm. So he's going to pick the keys up and hand them over to the captain and try and calm these two patients. Sadly.
Oh, I'm calm. Thank you. There's no need. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Sorry, no, don't worry. We'll take these keys away from you, and just you concentrate on your painting. Don't lose your painting.
Wait, where's the painting? Oh,
There you go.
I have it.
You're saying, "Where's the painting?" You're holding it tight.
Oh,
Where's
that's
the painting?
right.
Where's the painting?
Because did I try to open the door while also holding the painting?
You tried to open the door with your hand. You're like using your fingers as if it's the key. Like, where's the painting? Where's the painting? Captain, you got the keys. Doctor, give me a psychology roll, please.
Okay, happy to.
Doctor,
Love
you've
it.
got the keys. What do you do? We'll come back
he
to the
passes
psychology
them.
roll.
He passes them to the captain.
Yeah, the captain, you've got the keys. What do you do?
The captain is going to try and rally everybody because I think he's probably seen in battle that once one person goes, the next person goes, then the next, and it's like dominoes. And before you know what's happened, everybody is panicking. So he's going to try and get everybody back on an even keel and say, we're going to get through this, we're going to stay together, and we're going to survive, all of us.
Yeah, Ethan just kind of goes, yeah, it's all right. And Ethan kind of goes up to Carl, puts his hand on his shoulder. He's like, Carl, it's all right, mate. You come with me. You look. I'll get you out of here. Carl's like, yeah, mate. Yeah, no, it's all right. I hear the howls. I hear them. And he's like looking at you, Eleanor. Doctor, you...
That was
what
a
was your
90
roll,
versus
Doctor?
35 on psychology.
90 versus
Failure.
35. You feel like you've absolutely calmed them, but they are both frantic. You're like, okay, I've told them to calm down, and they've calmed down.
Pull
And yet
yourself
you
together. That
see
usually does the
Eleanor
trick.
using her finger trying to open the lock, and Carl's just there just going, the hells, they're everywhere. And you're just like that. They're fine. Let's go.
Wait, all right, lead on, Captain.
Captain, you open the door.
Open the door.
Door opens. There's a staircase.
Oh, I
The
did it.
staircase only leads down. Captain, you're leading the way.
And he will have his gun out and be kind of checking any sort of dark corners and
You see,
cautiously going down.
That's a good idea, Captain. I should get my gun out as well.
Oh, you've got
and-
one too, have you? Right, well, point it in the right direction.
I have apologised for that.
We'll roll a dice when that becomes appropriate, Eleanor. Don't you worry. We'll see if Carl Sosa can take another bullet, shall we? Captain, you begin walking down the steps with your gun. You see that it's this is the continuation of Ward E's cemented, imprisoned outlook. It's bleak. It's cold. It's dark. It's low light. There's a light way up, probably about 20 foot up, and a singular bulb that's casting shadows from the handrail that goes across in front of you, and then the stairs lead down. Then they go on a corner, and then they go down again. You begin making your way down, and at the bottom of the stairs, you find another door. This door is not locked. It is closed, but it's not locked.
No, oh Lord, Doctor, we come to that bit where the map says run like hell.
You are facing the door. If you're looking at the map, Doctor, you're now gone down to the basement level, down the steps. You are now facing the door that if you were to open said door, you would be facing the longer corridor past the disused cells that had annotated on it, run, run, run.
Right. That bit, underneath that coffee stain, I think we're there.
It sounds like we should run. Quietly.
It's a good idea.
I think we
Are
should
you
just
taking-
go. Let's just do it. Let's just go.
All right. Hold on.
Come on.
And I think we should run as far away from the cell doors as possible. Stay on the other side of the corridor.
Okay, so you're planning to go through the door, but jump to the so we say the southbound wall, should we say, as far away from the disused cells to track the wall across. Is that right?
Yeah, the Doctor is
I
going
think so.
to go to the left-hand wall and run his hand down the wall, just in case it's dark in there, and try and visualize those double doors that are next to the boiler room. Because
There
they're on
is
the
some
wall
light.
that they need to go down. Okay.
There is the occasional, as I say, about 10 foot up, a singular kind of cord with a bulb. They're not very good lights. They don't really illuminate that much, but you can still see. You can see the length of the corridor. It's a bloody long corridor. But you can, if you really, I suppose tucked into the left hand, the southbound wall, you can't really see the doors on the other side, but you know they're there. You can see the disused cells. I'm assuming by that note, Doctor, that you've gone out.
Gone out.
I'm assuming by that note you've gone out into the corridor.
Not yet. He's going to. I think we all go at once. Would that be the right idea?
Yeah. I think
One
we
after
should
the
stay
other, I
together.
imagine.
Yeah.
Can
Not
you
like-
give me can you give me an order, please? Remembering that Carl and Ethan are with you, and I will allow you to place Carl and Ethan as you see fit. Ethan is wired, and he's a bit like, look, we can do this. Look, I'm going to get back. I'm going to see Clara. Yes, come on. We're so close. This is the closest we've been.
I say we
Carl.
put Ethan first and Carl last.
Does it make sense for the wounded man to be in the middle, though, rather than have him sort of lagging behind?
If he stumbles, then the rest of us behind him are gonna be
Look, I've got it in front if you want. I'll take on anything that's coming down there.
How wide is this
Right.
corridor? Is it kind of,
wide.
we would have to be tightly single file, or
No, you could be 3 abreast if you wanted to.
right?
But then we'd be closer to the
Then
disused cells.
the person on the north side of that 3 abreast going down the horizon set corridor over to the western side, you would be closer to the disused cells. Now, you don't actually know because you haven't been in, so the disused cells might be, as we suggested, disused.
This map seems to cause some kind of panic in us for some reason.
It does.
Run, underlined, run, underlined, run, underlined.
I'm going to take the hint.
One of you's looked at a lovely painting of the Moors and seems to have gone insane. So, who's to say what's going on?
Exactly.
I mean,
Right then.
Eleanor started more or less insane, so I don't even feel like I should blame the painter.
Point. I feel like you brought that to the character. I'm not sure that was in the sheet.
She started with 40 sanity. That's not a lot.
No.
Just very open-minded.
Yeah.
She is too open-minded, some would say. Okay, so Ethan at the
Who's taking
front,
the
I
lead?
believe you said.
Yeah.
Ethan, who's next?
Maybe we should go with speed order, so that the fastest can be at the front and the slowest at the back. Then we can.
Okay. So do you want to give me your movement
Mine's
rates
8.
then, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
8.
Uh,
Doctor?
Where is it?
It would be on your character sheet. You should be
Guessing
looking
that.
at combat.
Combat, marvelous.
If you look at combat, you'll see your movement rate after
8.
your damage bonus. 8 as well. Okay.
mine has a
Also
dash.
A dash. I can tell
Yeah, it
you Eleanor's
doesn't-
combat rate because I have the wonderful book in front of me, which is lovely. And there we go. Eleanor, your... Seven
Cool.
for Eleanor. So 887, Captain.
Also 8.
Also 8. Okay. If you can't decide between yourselves, I'm happy to have you roll off.
I'm happy to be pushing.
What would you like
Do you
to
want
do?
to stick your head
I'm
through?
happy to be pushing up behind Ethan or for going first. I'm happy
So
to do that.
Ethan and Tommy, let's say they're
I'll
going
be
first
pushing up
together then.
behind them.
Perfect. Then, yeah. Doctor, Captain.
Yeah, Doctor is going to bring up who's got Sosa.
So we kind of said in the middle to the back because he's wounded.
So the doctor will carry the wounded person. Even
So
though he's
Captain,
wearing
does
a
that mean you're before the captain but behind Tommy?
I'm actually thinking maybe it makes sense for him to go last because then he can be covering with the gun so that if anything jumps out, then he can see it coming and hopefully fire before it gets to whoever it's attacking.
So we have Ethan, Tommy, Doctor, and Carl together, really. Then we have Eleanor. Then we have Captain at the back. So we have a bit of a drive at the front, bit of a drive at the back, and medical/mental issues in the middle there that we can kind of look at and see how we go with that. Okay. Ethan's there. The door is open. There's a look. He looks at you, Tommy. He steels himself. The sweat is beading down his head. Okay. What? And he pushes the door. Thank you for joining us for Act 5, the penultimate act of The Prisoner's Dilemma by myself, T.A. Newman. Find out more on our website, www.miskatonicplayhouse.com, and find us on the social media platforms with links found in the show notes. Until next time, when the curtain rises again.